1 second. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to link my friend. No, I don't know what she did. She's playing with my mic.
Lena, that's fine. Can we start?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for being here with us. راح تكون our today webinar مع لينا زيتوني. راح احكي شوي عن لينا قبل ما نبلش. لينا بلشت الكارير تبعها كثير بكير. كانت بعدها باليونيفرسيتي.
Maman, c'est très intéressant comment ne pas. Là, tu n'es pas obligé de rester assis. Webinar. Comment ne
Okay,
pas.
I'm going and I'm trying to mute you all. But Lara, please, can you try to mute all? You have the hosting now. Okay. So I'm بحكي شوي about Lena. Lena started her career مثل ما قلت early. كان بعدها باليونيفرسيتي. مبين على لينا اللي بدي احكي شيء زي serial entrepreneur. She's the founder of Modernité, Lena, VIP Magazine, the founder of Ichiban Sushi كمان. وآخر شيء she ended مع her LZ Lena Zeitouni high-end accessories. Yet, مثل ما أنا شفت, Lena has a big shift in her career لما بلشت الcoaching. وبتقول لنا إنه she cannot do things halfway. So out of her desperation, she got her inspiration. ضلت تدور على her calling. والشيء اللي عرفته about herself إنه this is وأنا كمان كثير بلاحظه. لينا لما بتقدر she can put a smile on someone's face. So that's for her is happiness. I notice every time we are around Lena or whoever is around Lena, بنشوف على طول في big smiles. She is always next to her friends, as she says, and she inspires them. بتحب كثير تكون in times of needs. هلا هي بتقول in times of joy, and I see her also. She's been next to me and next to others, even in times of sadness. She feels that she's very lucky إنه اكتشفت the real meaning of life لما بلشت تلاقي حالها.
On peut le mettre sur le speaker.
Lara, can you mute everyone? Lara, let's mute everyone, please. We have Daisy. She's still بعدنا عم نحس في background noise. So ما رح طول كثير. لينا عملت her life coach certification. She also went to Harvard for 2 years. واشتغلت كثير على her communication. كمان in parallel كانت عم تعمل أنتوني روبرز ماستر يونيفرسيتي وعملت كثير seminars بهارفارد about executive coaching, public speaking, art of communication and others. هلا لينا اليوم عم تشتغل على سيمينار بالببليك سبيكينج والكوتشنج بروجرام تبعها كمان in advanced public speaking as well. Yet لينا اليوم بدها تحكينا about our inner communication, our inner voice. So Lena, unmute yourself. The floor is yours. بس بدي أقول لكم شغلة. We are being live here. We are being live on Facebook as well. So بدي أطلب كمان منكم if you have any question. إذا بتطلعوا على الchat تحت, please write your questions. We will have a Q&A at the end. Whatever questions that you may have, إن شاء الله إذا الوقت سمحنا we'll address them all. You can raise your hand as well اللي بيعرفوا بالزوم, and then we will address everything at the end. Lena, thank you so much for being with us. ما بعرف إذا أنا في شيء I did not introduce as well. If you want us to give هيك على السريع why we're here today, and we can start with your session of today. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Nada, you were amazing. Thank you very much for this beautiful introduction. And you cannot imagine how excited I am to be with you today. Having all my friends from all over the world. I cannot even find the words to express my joy, my happiness, and my gratefulness. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you present here with me today in this webinar. I'm going to start with an important advice. According to recent studies of the journal Psychological Science, using a pen and a paper, not a laptop, to take notes boosts our memory and the ability to retain and better understand concepts. Furthermore, research has proven that we remember 10 times more using a pen and a paper while reading, watching, or listening to any class or conference whatsoever. So I'm gonna give all of you 1 minute to go and grab a pen and a paper, please. Ready? Okay, so if I want you to take a pen and a paper, because it's very important to take notes and to read the notes the same day you take them. Our notes, our memory refresher, it's our best roadmap. It just triggers everything we know from the back of our mind and just bring them to the surface. It helps you set clear goals and destinations. Stop self-sabotage. Have you ever had a deadline for a big work project? Then suddenly you find yourself down because you spend too much time on social media? Or maybe excited about meeting someone new, then you find yourself with no reason convincing yourself that he is not interested in you. And how many January after January have you made resolutions that this is going to be the year you're going to finally lose all the weight, and then again and again abandon your diet in just few weeks? If these scenarios or one of these scenarios sounds familiar, trust me, you are stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. Most of the time, the biggest obstacles keeping you from achieving your goal is yourself. I'm here with you today just to show you a few simple techniques to uncover why we self-sabotage, and most importantly, how to stop. Employ your time in improving yourself by others' man's writings, so that you shall easily gain what others have labored so hard. Socrates. What I'm trying to tell you is that I am not the inventor, what I'm going to share with you today. It comes from my readings, research, learnings, experiences, and credentials. What I'm going to do is just that I'm going to link everything together. You're also going to hear me saying a lot of quotes. Yes, because I strongly believe in quotes, and I strongly believe that they come from hundreds and hundreds of generations of tough experiences and are the essence of philosophers and successful people. You get your inspiration out of desperation. So if you're desperate, you are among the lucky ones. PGs, Steve Jobs, Anthony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Cameron Diaz, Dr. Phil, Jim Carrey, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, and so much more, including me, got their inspiration out of desperation. Those successful people got their breakthroughs when they realized they were self-sabotaging. They acknowledged it, accepted it, and did something about it. So now, just imagine, how would it feel to have control over your thoughts? To know why you are feeling this way? To know how to turn all situations to your advantage? To find your true motivation and unlock your willpower. And as Nietzsche said, He who has a why to live for can overcome anyhow. He who can be or find something he's in love with, he can find all the answers. Stopping self-sabotage and gaining intrapersonal communication is crucial for self-love. Let us see together the difference between intrapersonal communication and interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is something that we all do daily without even knowing that we're doing it. Interpersonal communication is a conversation that we have between two people or more. It focuses on impressing the person in front of us, proving that person that we are right. We are good enough, smart enough, and worthy of attention. The aim of that effort is having people acceptance and approval in order for us to feel good. Intrapersonal, on the other hand, is a conversation you are having with yourself. It's being aware of what is existing in your mind. It gets you to know yourself very well, to know your strengths and your weaknesses, to build on your strengths and to turn your weaknesses to your advantage. It's the ability to enter your mind, to understand your mind, and positively communicate your inner feelings by reflecting, understanding what is happening, why is this happening, and then doing a reaction. Because humans think, analyze, interpret things all day long. Each and every one of us have at least 50,000 thoughts during one day. This is for people who are not overthinkers. Therefore, stop self-sabotage and gain intrapersonal intelligence is crucial. We all know that our inner talk can destroy us. As Nietzsche said, there are no facts, only interpretation. It's not about the circumstances or the fact that are happening with us. It's the way we look at them and the way we interpret them. Our mind is shaped by our thoughts. And as Buddha said, what you think, you become. Just let's take an example of two people that missed the plane. The first one would go crazy, yelling, upset, swearing on himself, on his journey, and he is convinced that he is going to have terrible meetings and this trip is going to be the ugliest ever for him, and he's going to succeed. As of the other person who as well missed the plane is going to say, interesting. I learned not to stop in each and every shop in the duty free. And I learned as well to check the gate. You know, it happened to me. I went to the gate and I didn't check it. And you know, gate changes. And then he can even tell himself, it's very interesting because I'm going to be able to sit in this restaurant where I always wanted to sit and never had the chance. Same facts, same circumstances, different interpretation. So what do we need to stop self-sabotage and succeed in having intrapersonal intelligence? I'm going to start by telling you 3 very important lessons I learned to overcome self-sabotage and reach most of my goals in life. Number 1, you have to be aware that all important things in life are easy, but not simple. A sentence that resonated and stick to my head after each and every course and seminar I took at Harvard. Easy because it's feasible. Not simple because it needs hard work. It needs resilience. It needs persistence. And as Plato said, none of my invention came by accident. It came by hard work. Number two, 97% of people let go easily by self-sabotage and are employed by the 3% remaining that never let go and follow their dream until the end. The question is, who do you want to be in this world? And number three, are you a risk taker or are you more or less into your comfort, your security zone? Are you willing to take calculated risk? Because as Jim Rohn said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So, are you willing to step out of your comfort zone and take the challenge? Because if you do, I promise you, sky is the limit. It's very important to know that self-sabotage is a process that is tied into our biology and our roots, which is the reason why none of us can escape it to a certain degree, of course. It's very important for us to know that we humans have two innate things that drives us. One, we all go after obtaining rewards. We all go after the things that make us feel good enough and worthy of attention. And number two, we all go and we want to avoid threats and stay away from things that make us feel we're not good enough. These 2 points are how we survive as individuals and species. Usually, when those things are working normally and balanced during a normal day, everything is good. You're trying to go for your rewards, your goals, your targets. You are avoiding the threats and making sure that everything is under control. But every once in a while, the self-sabotage button turns on. And that is when you start to avoid threats much more than obtaining results. And when I talk about threats, I am not talking about climbing Mount Everest. It's when you start saying to yourself those things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to get that job, and what if I get rejected from this person or that person, and so on and on and on. Those emotional inner talks can strongly hold us back psychologically as a start and then attack us physically. You have to be aware that our emotions, our feeling can strongly affect our physical well-being. And once our emotions are weakened, self-sabotage button is turned on. At that specific moment, your thoughts are projecting a story that you made up about something that hasn't happened yet and most probably is not going to happen. That story has an emotional, physical impact on you right now, right this second. At that specific moment, the self-sabotage button is turned on and suddenly you find yourself in a fight or flight mode. A fight or flight mode is a situation where you need to fight or to run away. In this situation, we all have something in the back of our head, something like the shape of an almond called the amygdala. Once the amygdala button is pushed, your nervous system is activated And to protect himself, he releases a big amount of stress hormones. Those stress hormones are automatically freezing your capacity of thinking rationally and logically. It attacks your breathing system and stops a balanced distribution in oxygen in your body. Automatically, you stop focusing on your goals and start focusing on breathing better, on your shaky legs, on your fears, and all the negative things. Let's take, for example, you say, oh my God, when I get in front of people, I'm going to freeze. So what you're actually doing is projecting this idea in your conscious mind right now, right this second, in the moment. The idea that when you get in front of people, you will freeze. And by focusing on that idea, you're actually practicing freezing and make what you are scared of happening. At this stage, your brain is convinced that you are going to freeze. And your brain is going to give an order to actually freeze. All this because where focus goes, energy flows. What you focus on tends to expand. Always remember, your circumstances does not determine your reality. What you focus on determines your reality and your actuality. We are in a threatening situation. What happened is you stop thinking about what you can do and about obtaining rewards. When we are in a threatening situation, you fall into a threat mindset where all you think about is all what you cannot do and all the negativities that might face you until you let go of your goal. And that is exactly self-sabotage. There are 4 main factors that makes people self-sabotage. And people do them sort of subconsciously. But when we pinpoint them and start working on them, this is when the excitement begins and ecstasy starts. And these have an acronym to facilitate memorizing each and every one of them. And the acronym is LIFE, L-I-F-E. L stands for low or shaky self-concept. E stands for, I stands for internalized belief. F stands for fear of the unknown. And E stands for excessive need for control. So, where do you see yourself in those 4 categories? Some of you are going to have one of them. Some of you might have one of them, and others might have all of them, or 3 of them, or 2 of them. Either way, one of those 4 factors are the reason why people self-sabotage. So, do you have a low and shaky self-concept? A low and shaky self-concept is a mixture of how we believe we are in the world and what we feel that people think of us. Let's take, for example, you might have a very high academic self-esteem, but very low on athletic self-esteem. Or you may have a very high athletic self-esteem, but very low on romantic and social self-esteem. So, whatever area you find your self-esteem more shaky or weak, this is where self-sabotage is more likely to attack. Number 2, internalized belief. Internalized beliefs are the beliefs that you learn from childhood and that you keep inside. We receive those information from parents, professors, friends, relatives, everyone that we encounter in our daily life. At that moment, we're very young and sensitive. We discover who we are in the world, whether we're loved, what people think of us, are we smart, are we cute, funny, pleasant, unpleasant, etc., etc. And this is when we build our personality, our self-value, and our self-love. So when we are young and we felt angry, pain, or bullied, and we kept it inside, this is when we internalize it. By suppressing and hiding what we feel, we create self-harm and lower self-esteem. Our human brain will memorize those tough moments. They will keep them in our head and believe that this is who we are, even if this is not who we are. And this will stop us from being who we want to be in this life. And when the challenges occur, we compare who we think we are and what we think people think of us. We feel not good enough and turn self-sabotage button on. We let go of the challenge, let go of our goal, and are so far away from our dreams. Number 3, fear of the unknown. People in general are not great in change. According to research, we prefer to know for sure that something will go wrong versus facing an unknown situation. And for humans to feel good, they have to feel they are in control. Some people are more comfortable with changes, of course, than others. The only way to be in control of your life is living in the now, living in the moment. By living in the past or living in the future, you will always be fearful because you will be living in a situation that you cannot control. All of us here are too concerned about what was and what will be. We have to know that yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery, but today is a gift and we can control it. And number 4, last but not least, excessive need for control. And this is for the high achievers. Type E people love control. And sometimes when they are on their way to goal achievement, they might face a factor that they cannot control. And that will make type E uncomfortable and make them let go of their goal. When you are type E, the minute someone say, you cannot control this part of the process, then you're going to say, forget it. And you're going to go another way. And now the big question is, where do you find yourself sabotaging? Is it in low or shaky self-concept? Is it in internalized belief and emotional suppression? Is it fear of the unknown and fear of stepping out of your comfort zone? Or is it excessive need of control? The good news is, even though those factors come from our childhood, we are one decision away. The magic portion, look for the reason, accept it, acknowledge it, embrace it, and then sky is the limit. So after we look for the reason, accept it, embrace it, start working on it. Our pattern of thinking and behavior will automatically shift to instantly uplifting our self-image, instantly uplifting our inner belief and the way we talk to ourselves. Because if we imagine on a balcony view the way we talk to ourselves, you will be shocked. And if you just imagine one of your friends talking to you half the way you talk to yourself, trust me, I personally will kill him and get him out of my life. And number 3, by focusing on positive things. This is what will happen if we will work on ourselves. And now, my favorite part, and I guess yours as well, problem, solution, and how to do all this. I'm going to start with a golden rule that I learned the hard way by Paulo Coelho. If you want to be successful, you must respect one rule. Never, never, never lie to yourself. Accept, acknowledge your feelings to be able to overcome any obstacle. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings create our action. And our action creates results. I'm going to say it one more time. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings create our actions. And our actions create results. So your results are linked to those 2 centimeters in your head. At that specific moment, you are transmitted in an exceptional dimension called self-fulfilling prophecy. It's when you are in a situation wishing something will happen to you or fearing something will happen to you. This prediction or this expectation will become true only when you believe it's true. And when you believe it's true, look at what happens. Our actions towards others impact other beliefs about us. And that causes other actions towards us, which will reinforce our belief about ourselves, which will influence our actions towards others. Just remember, it's easy, but not simple. Remember that repetition is the mother of skills. And as Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act. Excellence is a habit. And last but not least, what comes quickly doesn't last. But what lasts doesn't come quickly. Action plan. How to start mastering those 2 centimeters in our head. Because every behavior, every emotion is preceded by a thought. Every behavior, every emotion is preceded by a thought. If you have a negative thought, you are going to act accordingly. You are going to act accordingly to that thought. So, our action plan. Number 1, pick up a thought and ask yourself, is this thought serving me to have the goal that I want? Don't focus on whether the thought is right or wrong, good or bad. We don't need to judge a thought. Instead, just ask yourself, is this thought serving me to obtain the goal that I want? Question number 2, is this thought helping me to be the person that I want to be? And finally, question number 3, is this thought that I constantly have on my mind helping me to go forward, or is it stopping me? If the answer of any of these questions above is yes, then this thought is working to your advantage and there's no need to change it. On the other hand, if the answer to any of these questions is no, then this thought is not working to your advantage and there is a need to change it. Remember that the thought can only control you if you give it the power. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And now I'm going to leave you with a wishful request. Whenever you feel sad, depressed, anxious, or self-sabotaging, ask yourself one question. What am I thinking about right now? And twist. Well, that's it. I'm so happy I shared everything that I apply in my daily life with so many people that I love, and I wish that you liked it and that you are going to apply it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lena. Thank you so much. Anyone has a question? Thank you, Judge. Happy saying that was amazing.
Thank you.
Any question?
It was so clear and wonderful, so we don't have any question.
Thank you, Daisy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we're having Christina, so wonderful. ما قلتي لنا Lena, كيف understand? How can we have the recording? The recording will be on our YouTube channel, Pragma Dance. Very insightful, عم نشوف. Please go ahead and look on YouTube on our Pragma Dance channel. The recording will be available in 24 hours, or probably because it's the weekend, it's going to be on Monday. Nelly عم تسأل, will you have tips to share with us, Lena?
Sorry, say it again.
Do you have tips to share with us?
Yes, definitely. What my advice is, first, all of us, we have to find from the life, L-I-F-E, what does apply to us, what applies to us. And then we have to continuously, every morning or night or at noon, a specific time. And it has to be while you're doing something like you're drinking your Nescafe or whatever, and keep asking yourself to be able to create a pattern of behavior, to ask yourself every day the same questions and ask yourself one question: what did I learn today? What did I acquire? And what weakness did I overcome? To be able to build this strength and this muscle. So yes, mainly that's it.
So أول شيء they asked for the YouTube link. Lara already posted the YouTube link on the chat box. So we're having, thank you, so inspiring. Lara Rainer is saying thank you, was great. Wafa عم تقول it was great, thank you. You're a great speaker. بتقول again Lara. Limata, thank you. Great session. عم بيقولوا Desiree. Lovely Lena. Anthony is asking a question. I wanted to ask concerning the point about to be a risk taker or in the comfort zone.
Yes.
You mentioned something concerning the calculated risk. What is a calculated risk and which one is better to do? Risk taking or calculated risk?
Risk taking or calculated risk?
Yes.
Is the question?
Yes, أنت قلتي about being a risk taker أو in the comfort zone وقلتي something about calculated risk. عم يسأل أنتوني شو يعني calculated risk وشو أحسن risk taking أو calculated risk. أول شيء بدنا نشوف شو يعني calculated risk.
Calculated risk.
Daisy, can you mute yourself, please? Yes, Lena, go ahead.
Yes. A calculated risk is you have to see, just in case, you have to see your worst case scenario. What is your worst case scenario? And you have to go 2 steps backward and stop here. This is your calculated risk. And if your calculated risk is not good enough to get you to your goal, then there's another way or another road you have to take. And then when you'll get to your first goal, then you'll take the longer way to be able to go 1 step ahead. Yani, I'm going to explain myself. Let's say, I'm sorry, English, okay. Let's say I want to travel to the States, but I do not have enough money for the time being. So what I do is I try to postpone this vacation to the next vacation because I need to go and work 1 more month or take another project to be able to go 1 step ahead.
And كمان Anthony's question is which one is better to do, risk taking or calculated risk?
For me, in my dictionary, in my understanding, my risk taking is always calculated because it depends of each one's character. Some people bluff and take risk till the end with no return. I personally like to take calculated risk because I don't like to ask and I don't like to be in need. I always like to be somehow. I'm the E type, so I always have to be in control.
Okay.
Of myself, at least of myself.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. I hope we answered your question. So coming, we have more comments. Christina is saying, thank you, Lara. Misha is saying, thanks, Lena. It was so clear and fruitful session. Coming, we have, thank you, very useful. Naya is saying, proud of you. It was such an amazing and inspiring webinar. Naomi said, you were amazing as usual. Love you lots. And Anthony, yes, we answered this question. Thank you. So, Lena, thank you so much for the information. And we've posted already. Please let us know if you didn't see the link. We can send it again before we end up. Lara is sending it again. So here you have it. It will be posted by next week. Then you will have the replay for it. Please, 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 everyone, we will be sending always a feedback form just for you to help us to improve and how to see how we can serve you better. Actually, those coaching sessions, those webinars were done initially for our coaches. Just to let you know, we have something called coaching in Lebanon. But after the pandemic, we've decided to make it Coaches in Love, say CIL. It's still the same initials, yet because we wanted to help each other as coaches first, and then to be able to help the public. But today we saw that we have many people of the public because of how much Lena is famous. So thank you all for being here. I hope to see you in other webinars. Thank you for attending. Lena, thank you so much for your time. And we will be doing this every Wednesday and every Friday. Whoever wants to join, you will be getting, just be aware, you're getting emails from us because you've already registered. So feel free to unsubscribe if you feel that this doesn't resonate with you anymore. Thank you so much for your attendance, and see you later. Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye.